And I suppose everybody bring a different vibe and a different melody. Like with even King Kev himself with the social media thing and you know, and the rhyming and you know that kind of stuff like that. So he brings something different.
Correct.
And you bring something different and you bring something different. So we can all come together and just, like I said, coexist in the same space and all feed our families, and because we're all doing it. Right, so welcome back to another episode of the King Space Podcast, where we have authentic reason and unfiltered perspective about various topics and, you know, different bullet points and stuff like that. On today's topic, we're talking about black businesses in Sheffield. And our two guests we've got is Junior from Rumkeg and Bishop from Bishop's Bistro, which I didn't know about. And he's been running for 16 years. But before we get started, again, I want to big up the King Kev himself for sponsoring us with his juice. Today we're trying out the beetroot one, which I think is a fairly new one that he's got on the list of drinks that he's doing. So like I said, today's topic is about black businesses in Sheffield. Of course, you've got a black business, and one of the first bullet points I want to touch on was, what is the biggest obstacle you face when launching and how did you overcome that? Start with Junior.
When launching?
Yeah. So what was one of the biggest obstacles you faced when launching and how did you overcome it? So when you was launching the business?
I think fear.
Okay.
Fear of, is it going to work? Is it not going to work?
Okay.
And I think with anything that you do, whether you're a sports person and you compete, or you're going to do something that's going to mean a lot to you, you're going to have that little fire in your belly where, you know, the adrenaline, the fear of, is it going to work? Is it not going to work?
Yeah.
I think that was the obstacle when starting.
Yeah.
But what made it easier for me is I've always kind of done private mobile bars.
Right.
So I was already building the brand before I opened.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
So will you say that that's how you overcome it, by having that knowledge of, I've always done pop-ups anyway.
Yeah.
So even if the overall idea doesn't work, I'll just go with the pop-ups until I hit. And I'm presuming that's what you did.
Yeah.
But I mean, so fear is good. I love a lot of time people hear fear and they think negative of the word fear. But it's not, it like you say, it's that fire in your belly, innit? And that sense of, you know what I mean? And obviously if that's your dream that you want to do,
it means a lot.
Then it means a lot, innit? So you're going to give it everything that you've got. And I'm presuming you did that.
Definitely.
You're there now, innit? So you've gone from so you've gone from one location to another location.
Yes, man.
And obviously you've branched off as well a bit on that as well, because you've got like Rumkeg, which is my favorite place to be on a Thursday. You get what I mean? I think I'm one of the hits on your TikTok channel.
Your TikTok famous right now.
Yeah. So that's good, man, and I'm proud that you use that fear as a fire and you use that fear of a way of propelling yourself to where you need to be. Because I'm presuming that this was a vision that you had.
It's
for a while.
It's always been a long-term dream. From I got into bartending. I got into bartending at a young age in Jamaica, and once I started representing Jamaica as a bartender, I thought, yeah, man, because in Jamaica, being a bartender to me before I got into tourism, it's just woman in a bar.
Yeah.
You see me? You don't see no man on the corner bar, the man.
No.
It's woman, because woman I got chop beer man for come spend.
Yeah.
So when I got into tourism, in the hotel industry, then there was more male bartenders. And I just end up loving it. And what drew me in was like, you get no lip of tips.
Okay.
You see me? And sometimes my tips is more than my wages for the month. Like, when I work it out, when I came to England and I work out my wages in Jamaica, I was on £200
more.
A fortnight. No, a fortnight. So for the month, I was earning like £400.
Yeah.
That is nothing.
Yeah.
You know, looking back, no, £400 a month, that can't do nothing.
Can't do nothing, no.
I have to pay your rent.
So, I keep saying Bishop, innit? It's Sean.
Sean, yeah.
Sean.
People
Sean.
call me Mr. Bishops all the time. When I'm out in the streets or clubbing, Mr. Bishops, but they don't know my name is Sean.
Yeah. So the same question, what was the biggest obstacle you faced when launching and how did you overcome it?
Well, the area that we set up in is like suburban, middle class.
Mearsbrook area,
Norton Lees, back of Mearsbrook sort of thing. And there were certain stereotypes when I went in there, took this unit on.
Okay.
I think the unit had a lot of previous problems before I took it on, but I gutted it and wanted to make it like a breakfast place and an afternoon place and then come down in the evening for like bistro nights and stuff. So some of the community, not all of the community, because it was a guy in the community who actually helped me in the end.
Okay.
So one of the obstacles I faced was people didn't really want me to open up a place there. And then there was a bit of stereotyping of my ethnicity, who I am. What is he really going to be opening up there? Sort of thing. So I faced a petition. People were petitioning against me opening up past 9 o'clock and all this kind of stuff. So there was a guy who was also in the community who I got to know just from opening up the little bistro that we had. And he sort of pointed me in the right direction and gave me some contacts who to speak to get over this. But then, funnily enough, I had a petition of some other people from the community who wanted me to remain there and wanted me to, to continue the good work because it was quite, the demographics are quite old in the community when I first started. So these old ladies and that were fantastic coming and get coffee and a scone. That's how we set off doing breakfast and afternoon tea. So they were thinking, this is great. I can come and get some soup, only live down the road. This is great for the community. But there was other people on the road who thought, we don't want this guy here. So that was a big obstacle for me to overcome. But I was confident with the knowledge of what I knew about catering because I've been in catering over 30 odd years. A story what Junior just told about tips. I worked in Meadowhall in a bar called the Rock Island Diner. And we used to dance.
Right.
We used to dance on this bar.
Okay.
And the tips and the burger, we were like a diner, basically an American diner. And the tips was phenomenal. Were more than your wages, like Junior said. But you had to do like these dances to like car wash, grease lightning and all that. And that was one of my best ever jobs I ever had since I've been working. Like going to work and the personalities were that strong in the workplace because a lot of the people who worked there wanted to be actors or whatever. So you were up against a lot of people and some people took it really serious, the dancing and stuff. So that was that. So I knew I had the knowledge to do what I was doing in my first ever self-employed job. I knew I had the knowledge to do it. I wasn't feared from that side of things. I knew I could do it. But obviously in life, you face obstacles every day.
That's it.
So I soon got over that obstacle. And then, to be honest, the biggest obstacle I had to get over was we were doing great, doing breakfast, doing afternoon tea and all that. Before I knew it, down the road on wood seats, everybody's doing breakfast.
So you started a trend.
Tea.
You started a trend.
The cake gets smaller because there's more places for people to go. So I thought to myself, what could I do which is hard to recreate? That's when it hit the Caribbean stuff. But my mum was always on me back about doing Caribbean food. My mum used to come up to the shop, sit down with us and this, that, have a chat with me and the chef. She was always on me back about doing Caribbean food. So I thought we'll change from the breakfast thing and do something what is hard to recreate. Because if you look on the circuit even now, there might be only 10 Caribbean places, like takeaway, sit down places where you can go. And from there, we never looked back. It's just been...
So you're overcoming it then was with confidence in yourself.
Yeah, the knowledge that I had.
And the knowledge that you had. That's good, man. I'm proud of that. And oftentimes that kind of obstacle is enough for some people to give up in it and think, you know what, I'm not even going to carry this on. So the fact that you dug your heels in and thought, you know what, I ain't giving up. You started thinking and you start using your brain and think to myself, well, what can I do that's going to be hard to recreate?
Yes.
And obviously rice and peas.
Yeah,
man.
Authentic.
You can make breakfast, rice and peas. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? You can put chicken in the oven, but can you jerk it? Correct. You know what I mean? Can you make? You know what I mean? So that's good. That's good that you actually didn't let that get you down and didn't let that be a reason for you to
give up and stop.
For you to give up and be negative towards it, because I think in our community that's negativity creeps in a lot.
Yes.
When them kind of things come in, because we come from a background where, as we were speaking about before coming on, before we was on camera, in our community where we're always bashed down about what we do.
Yeah.
And sometimes it stops us from creating and stop us from thinking outside the box.
Yeah,
like you went and you think outside the box, because you could have just stuck with that breakfast thing and probably never moved.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And probably
very hard and made very little money from it.
That's it. You know what I mean? But you allowed your mind to think beyond what your original plan was.
Yeah.
You know what I
and
mean?
I think in business, that's something what you've got to do. You've got to keep up to date with what's going on around you.
Yeah.
And think, how do we change to match our demographics, what are coming? Yeah. You've got to know your customer base, and you got to know what makes them tick.
Yeah.
And can you provide what makes them tick?
Yeah.
I mean, you must remember the real McCoy from back in the day.
Yeah.
And it's like that sketch where they show you a typical Caribbean restaurant, and you walk in and we now have that, we now have this, we now have that. Why you come this late for? We're closed.
Yeah.
And that's like, it was a joke to us, isn't it? That's all like a joke.
Yeah.
But it's raising the standards and raising the levels.
That's it.
And exceeding people's expectations.
That's it.
That's something what we always try to do when you come into our business.
Great.
Exceed somebody's expectations.
Great stuff.
What they're going to get.
Customer service. First impression.
Of course.
First impression is always, yeah, that's it. That's great. And come back to something you said, Junior, about bartending. You said bartending was kind of frowned upon on male perspective. Did you get into that because of you being in tourism? Or did you get into the bartending because it's just something that you liked, or you wanted to be different, stand out from the crowd?
Man, I got into bartending by accident.
Okay.
So, like when I was growing up, when you leave school, if you're not very academic, like my grandparents would say, nah, man, if you're not very academic, and if you not come up with a lot of subjects, you need to do something.
Yeah.
So the first place them send me was to a carpentry shop. You have to sandboard till you have to do something. You see me?
Stay tuned.
My dream was always to be an artist.
Okay, drawing.
Painting,
okay.
So I used to paint and sell.
Right.
From 13.
Right, okay.
You know what I mean? So that was my dream. And then one day my dad's wife, my dad live in New York, and his wife said, I'll pay for you to go to a hospitality training school. Me a countryman, me don't know what that is. But me just say, pay for it, me I go.
Yeah.
You see? So me just jump on the opportunity. And it was a chance for me to move out of my normal environment. Because I got a taste of, so me live a country life, me born in the country. And I use pit toilet and them something there. So when me meet my father's side of family, you're going a nice shower and flush toilet.
Yes.
And so I kind of draw toward that side. Like every time there's a holiday, I want to go see my father. Them.
Yeah. So you can live that life there.
Them have the flush toilet and
now outside in a bad pan and gone a river and all of them things there.
Yo, when breeze Portland cool in a
yeah, but no, man. That's it,
Jamaica, but cool. Early morning cool.
Cool, yeah.
When I got a taste of that from young, and then I find my uncle who passed away, bless his soul, Uncle Carlton.
Yeah.
He was the only person, or the first person I knew in Jamaica at that time that had like a helper, like a maid. So him having wife in yard, but him still have a maid. And this is in Jamaica.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yo, this is wicked.
Yeah.
Because be a countryman, maid.
Yeah.
If you have made, you've made it. You see me? So I was drawn to some of that to get a taste of both where you grew up and me not gonna say me live in poverty.
Yeah.
Because my grandma, bless her soul as well.
Yeah.
She always made sure there's food.
Yes.
You see me? And everybody put in the work we farm, we kill chicken and them something there, and we sell fruits and these things. So from that to meeting my dad's side of family, they was living more comfortable.
Yeah.
You see me?
Yeah.
So I like that as well. So when my dad's wife said, I'm gonna pay for you to go to the school, I'm like, I don't know what is still in there, but I'm gonna go.
Yeah.
And when I went, I was the best student in there.
Whoa.
The guy who owns it, named Carl's Practical,
Yeah.
He told me, he said, yo, you're the best student.
Mm.
So, and then I went from that. So we had to do waitering, bartending, and housekeeping.
Okay.
But me, anything me do
it to your best.
do it 110. You see me? The
man.
best of my ability.
Yeah, man, I
go
like
put
that.
out the all. So from that, we just blossom. And then you had to do like a work placement.
Yeah.
So 1 month I went to the hotel called Starfish.
Mm-hmm.
And I worked 1 month for free. No pay.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end, I just fell in love with it. That's how I fell in love with bartending.
Okay.
I wasn't able to bartend because I think I was around 17.
Age.
But I was like a bar waiter.
You're right, okay.
You see me?
Okay.
And I just build beer vibes. So the same vibes we get a Rumkeg now. Me, I do that from long time.
Yeah.
You see me? I the same person, same vibe. Me just get off some grey, that's it. You see me? So that same vibe, energy from a bar waiter, yo, my pocket fat up with tips.
Every minute. Because people like the difference.
Fat up with tip, man.
Yeah,
me I go over and beyond, man. Till me get calls from the manager them. That's not your job. You're not allowed to do that.
Yeah.
I said, I deal with the guests.
Yeah. Guess not
The
complain.
guests come first.
Yeah. Kill them with that one there. Yeah.
So that was my channel into bartending. And I just fell in love with it.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And you said you worked at, is it Rock
Island Diner.
Rock Island Diner, and you did it with, it sounded like a similar thing that you did.
Yeah, that was my
in the bartending side of things.
I didn't so much do the bar, I was more a waiter, dancer,
right.
and all that.
Yeah.
But from that job, I got promoted to a trainee manager, which was the guy who owned the Rock Island Diner. He owned a lot of restaurants in Meadowhall.
Yeah.
It was under one umbrella. And they promoted me to a trainee manager in a French restaurant. And I learned off this guy who was already there. I knew him as a friend.
Yeah.
And he taught me a lot about wines and this, that, the other, and taking service up to another level. And eventually I became a general manager in Sheffield on Entertainment site there. And I became a general manager of that company. And I worked for them for spent about 5 years working for that company. And I moved to, Kent. I worked in Frankie and Benny's. General manager there, Croydon. Croydon. I worked there for a year and a half. Somebody headhunted me from there and took me into Trafford Centre.
Manchester?
Yeah, Manchester.
Yeah.
It was a 200-seater burger chain restaurant.
You've been all over the place, man.
Yeah. I've worked all over in catering.
Yeah.
But you know what they say, knowledge is power.
Yeah.
So once you've got the knowledge, because this site they took me to, where they headhunted me to go to the Trafford Centre, it was their biggest investment. It was owned by venture capitalists. And it was their biggest investment to that day, sort of thing, when they got me. And they were only used to operating in like suburban little areas. So it was a big risk for these guys to invest in the Trafford Centre in a 200-seat restaurant. I think they sent their best general manager at the time to run it, and it failed badly. And they found out about me, headhunted me, and I went in there, and I turned it around very quickly.
Wow.
Very quickly I turned it around. But like I say, if you've got the knowledge, you know what buttons to press straight away.
Yeah.
And I remember them coming to visit me after about 3 months saying, the sales are going up, reviews are getting better, what is it you're doing? And I always use this analogy. How do you eat an elephant? You can't eat it all on your own.
Yeah, you have to take your
break
time.
it down
Break
into
it
little
down.
pieces.
Yeah, man, I like that one.
That's what we did. I broke it down into pieces and gave people one responsibility every day, new responsibility.
Yeah.
We grew and grew and grew it. And then I became an area manager looking after one in Lincoln, one in Castleford, one in Manchester.
Yeah, great. So what made you, what was the idea behind venturing out into your own thing then? You just got fed up of working or?
Well, I always wanted to work for myself. And I've got family and brothers who had worked for themselves. And again, it's one of those things. If you knock about or hang out with people who are in business and you want to have a business, more than likely you're going to end up having a
Having a business, or
having a go
at it.
Yeah,
definitely.
Or in business. And I always say, if you want to be like self-employed into catering, there's no sense hanging out with a boxer or
no, can't teach you nothing.
They can't teach you anything. Yeah,
true.
Even now, the same guys who I hanged out with before actually took the step and went into it. I still hang out with those same guys now.
All right, okay.
They've got all sorts going on, like successful in all sorts of different businesses they've been successful in.
That's good.
And they still give me advice for, like you were talking about, being afraid to talk.
Yeah.
I can go and talk to them and say, look, this is what's happening at the moment, and I'm not too sure what we need to do here.
Great stuff.
From your experience of having a business, what would you do if you were in my shoes, you know what I mean? And they still give me good advice.
Yeah. That's great, man. I like that. And what about you, Junior? What made you venture into your own thing? Because was Rumkeg your first, other than the pop-up bars?
No.
Okay.
I've tried several things that didn't work with that.
Yeah.
As I said, from young, I wanted to be an artist. And then as I started learning about art and art history, I realized all the great artists, they die before they become famous.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, Picasso and all of them used to give them artwork for free as gifts. Because them, they broke.
Yeah.
You see me? So I then kind of switched from, I wouldn't say I switched from it. I was still doing it. And I wanted to go to Edna Manley College of Arts.
Right, okay.
I didn't really get a chance to go.
Right.
I went as far as paying my registration fee.
Yeah.
But then when I reach out to certain man, them say, boy, no, never got college, you know.
So why you want to go to college? Yeah, true.
So it just happened that then I went from Portland, I went to Red Hills to stay with one of my cousins. And I tried to reach out to other art galleries and stuff like that. I remember one time I went to an art gallery. This was before I went to the training school for bartending.
Yeah.
I went to an art gallery and I booked an appointment in New Kingston. And as soon as I opened the door, the lady, and I introduced myself, the lady says, "Are you self-taught?" And I said, "Yes, ma'am." And she said, "I don't want to see your work."
Wow. She didn't even get a chance.
So that was one of my first knockbacks in life.
Yeah.
She said, "I don't want to see your work." And the same day, I jumped on a bus from Halfway Tree to back to Red Hills and I walk in with my artwork them. The next door neighbor stopped me and said, "Oh, what you have?" I said, "I have some painting, ma'am." It so happened that she was a return resident from England. And I had 8 pieces and she bought everything.
Everything in life happened for a reason. That woman that they mean for say no.
She bought everything.
To that woman there.
Yo, you think I'm going to the house, brother? Me not going to the house, you know. Me jump back on the next bus and me make my way straight down to downtown Kingston and buy 2 pair of trainers.
Wow.
One white, one black.
Oh, you mean?
You see me? And just going and dash it down from bed. Yes, man.
Nice. Lovely.
Yeah, man.
That was an encouragement then, I take it.
That was an encouragement. I always wanted to be an artist. And then after that, I realized that it wasn't really working. That was a one-off sale.
Yeah.
And I get convinced to do the training thing. Got into the hotel. And then when I found bartending now, at the end of my 1 month free trial kind of thing, like work placement, I go to the HR manager, the food and beverage manager, and the bar manager. And I said, "Thank you very much for having me. I really enjoyed my experience."
Wow.
Then I thank
gratitude.
Separately, gratitude.
Yeah.
Then, because that instilled from a grandma.
Yeah.
From young, you see me? So after that now, a week later, the HR manager rang me. She named Miss Steer. Never forget this lady, brother. She was a person who gave me a chance as a young person.
Wow.
And she said, "Oh, we want you to come in for an interview." And I said, "Okay, gas right now." Going bush to the bone.
Oh, you mean? Best shirt, best everything.
Best. One of them new trainers that I buy. You see me? Clean. Reebok Classic, man. Black one. Yeah. Straight in. So we go in there now. The lady said to me, "What's your size?" So I said, "What do you mean, what's my size?" She said, "What's your shirt and waist size?" I said, "I thought I was here for an interview." She said, "No, I'm giving you a job."
Oh.
I didn't do an interview. She gave me the job on the spot. She just took me to the hotel, had like a room with all of the uniforms. I still have photograph of them uniform and them thing there. You see me? So you have the uniform, the man, she just gave me uniform straight away and sent me to the bar manager, Mr. Clark. I don't forget these names.
Yeah, man.
As these are important people in my life.
Key moments in your life as well.
Give me a chance.
Yeah, man.
You see me?
Yeah, man.
Mr. Clark, take me on that wing. Zine, and when you take me on that wing now, from a bar waiter now me I turn 18. It never take me long. Because as me say, everything me do 110%.
10%. Great.
So you see, when I was a bar back, me done all of my job them before everybody else, you know.
Yeah.
I want time to go spend with the tourists them.
Yeah.
You see me?
Yeah.
But if it's a bar back and you just a beer keg and I grab shine down polished buckle,
Yeah.
you not have no time for the tourists them.
True.
So we finish them job there quick. Ice, beer,
Yeah.
rum, vodka. And then me have a little extra hour to go talk to one tourist and say, hello, ma'am, how you doing today? And me can make a little tip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I got excited by that. And then me go, so boom, think them less than a year, because me turn 18 now. So the manager just dropped me in at the bar and say, yo, I want you control this bar.
Mm-hmm.
And you see, the first year, I work at the hotel, them give me at the staff awards, them give me Rising Star Award. Because me just a mash up work.
Yeah.
And then me get a nickname, Superman.
Yeah.
Because as me say, 110 me I go.
Yeah, every time.
Is it?
Every time.
Boom, boom, boom. Me I done my work. Me I always I think the next thing. Me not just think straight. Me I think, if me do these all my jobs them, me have an extra hour for the tourists them me can spend and nobody can tell me nothing.
True.
Me do my work.
Yeah, man, I like that.
You see me?
Yeah, man, I like
Them
that.
can't. What am I going to tell me say?
No, they can't tell nothing.
The job done.
You do it already. You do
You
it
see me? Me do what me do.
Yeah.
So by the time that now, I was exceeding and excelling as a bartender. I was starting to take it serious. Me I said, I love this, man. New drinks, peach schnapps, Bob Marley shots, everything.
Yeah.
I said, I love this now, blood clot. So I start research now and learn more. I start watching a movie, Cocktail.
Yeah.
Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise, yeah.
See? And then we go, so boom. The second year, I think that was a year, them give me like a superstar award. So remember, first year, Rising Star. Second year, superstar award. See? As me just excel. Me start running my own bar by myself.
Yeah.
Me used to do like a beach party bar. Me alone.
Yeah.
You see me? Sometimes me run out a cup, man. Me have a tourist, them I go get cup for me.
Yeah.
Or me get the guests, them I work for me don't know.
Yeah.
You understand?
I suppose that's just your demeanor, innit?
Oh, man.
Yeah.
And I find the same thing happening at Rumkeg now.
Yeah.
And I don't understand the people bring back them cups and them glasses. And I say, yo, me not share my tip, you know.
Yeah.
So you don't need to bring back your glass.
So I suppose it's not for you to understand, innit?
And that
You have
for me
to
to understand.
go and do your work. Go and do your
just
work.
embrace it now.
Yeah, definitely. I like that.
Yeah, so that's how I kind of excel in that. And then Mr. Clark, he put me forward to do a competition. This time, I don't know nothing about them thing there. Me still just go with the flow.
Yeah. Like that.
You see it? I don't know. Competition. I didn't even know that could be a thing. So when me turn up, me nervous. When me I say competition, you just need to make cocktail. Me I say, yo, we used to have a drink named Cersei, tequila, rum cream, and Campari. That calm the nerves. You see me? So when you go up on your shift, you just drink one of that.
Calm the nerves.
Calm the nerves.
Yeah.
And you just a fly. You see me? Work just a mash up. So remember when we go to the competition, before I go to the competition, because you don't get a chance to go to a bar.
Yeah.
At the hotel, me meet with the other person competing with me from the hotel. And make sure me go sneak away and have a Campari, tequila, and rum cream.
Yeah.
To calm the nerves. And then we have a 45-minute travel.
Yeah.
So by the time I reach, so in a tequila and a Campari.
We're out.
Sink in. Nah, man. No, because me naked.
Yeah, okay. One shot.
One shot.
Yeah.
So by the time I reach the competition, I'm ready.
Yeah.
I'm already prepared because I put in the work 110.
10 every time.
Every time.
That's
So
it.
I put in the work, practice my garnish, everything. And the first competition, it was host at the national, what's it called it? It's like a food thing in Jamaica. So it was Culinary Federation of Jamaica. But it was sponsored by Ray and Nephews.
Okay.
And then now, they end up winning.
Great.
Winning.
Amazing.
You know, because I say me put in 110 and me win. And then I remember the guy who was one of the top chefs in Jamaica at the time. He said to me, "You don't know the job that you have now." You know, and I get a taste of, some might say I look like a local celebrity lifestyle. So I ended up, after I became the #1 bartender in Jamaica, I had to go to regular trainings. I had to go to regular press briefings, and I also have to go to regular press like photography time or whatever it is. You understand?
Yeah.
So me get the opportunity to see another side of Jamaica. A whole heap of rich people live in Jamaica, and
I know, man.
So I was traveling around with a brother named Lloyd Banks. And me have my suitcase in the car back. And we are growing on the private parties. So I was turning up to rich people's back gardens in Jamaica. I felt like I was in Miami in some of these houses.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it was Jamaica.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean? And just working, private party. Like me up on tour.
Yeah.
And it felt good. You know what I mean? That felt good. And doing the interviews and everything, it felt good. And that was my first taste of traveling and going on a plane. So after representing Jamaica, the taste of the Caribbeans in Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico, beautiful, man. Side where we go.
So that was you preparing for what you didn't even know that was ahead. That was coming, that's what coming with the whole Rumkeg scenario, man. So it's good
that dream came from of owning my own bar one day.
Yeah.
So the dream developed from
doing
those
all
experiences and wanting to kind of craving that feeling again.
Yeah.
But having the freedom to do it on my own.
Yeah, man. I like that story. And I suppose that kind of gave you the confidence of now being in where we are now. Like, I mean, they say that that blacks are the minority, which I don't believe it, but we're in a place now of the minority, and that kind of just put me on to my next topic. Like, why do you believe that black business it matters, especially in this community? Because we live in Sheffield where there's not a lot of black businesses. I think there's more now.
Yeah.
I mean, since COVID, I think a lot more black businesses is opening, a lot more people are trying, a lot more people are doing probably what they've been wanting to do for a while. But because prior to COVID, we was all stuck in this job.
Yeah.
And I think COVID opened that door for people like, whoa, I can actually work for myself. Because people started cooking from home. They started creating their own ideas, barbering from home and all these kind of things. So from your perspective, why do you think black businesses matter? Especially, let's talk about Sheffield, because we're in Sheffield.
Yeah.
So why do you think black businesses matter in our community? We'll start with you, Sean.
I believe black businesses matter because in all the different communities and all the ethnicities, like the Asian community, they have got lots of businesses. They've always well known to have businesses.
Yeah.
And they go to Asian other businesses and buy from them and vice versa. In Sheffield, I mean, I think this is a good example actually. Junior, when he was in the other place, I used to do a bit of cooking, a few vegetarian meals for Junior. If he said, Sean, I ain't got a kitchen, but can you do me this, that, the other? And we worked together a little bit.
Wow.
A bit of time, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Black business work together. I said, Junior, that's no problem. I can do that for you. We can sort that out and what's not, you know what I mean? But it's good to have black businesses in Sheffield where you can, it's not only that you can go to them, but other people coming through, young people coming through, can aspire and think, oh, I go to that shop, it's a big supermarket. Why can't I do it?
Yeah.
You know, that guy, Mr. Whatever, who owns that shop, that big supermarket, with all the black products, acky, saltfish, I could do that one day.
That. Yeah.
You know what I mean? But, well, I'm from the 70s.
Yeah.
In the 70s, in Sheffield, there were no real black businesses. You know what I mean? In the 70s, I can't think of any black businesses in the 70s when I was growing up as a kid.
Yeah.
Thinking I'm going to go and get sweets or go and get ice cream and it's going to be a black guy's shop. I can't think of that. But luckily, I lived in the Caribbean from the age of 12. I lived in Guyana.
Right, okay.
I mean, mum and dad had a business.
Right.
And obviously, I aspired to that when I came back to England. I was 16 when I came back to England. But I lived in Guyana and they had a business. They had a farm. I knew about livestock and knew how to bring stock up. They had crops growing in the garden and all that. So I got to learn about, hardship really. Because when I got there in 1982, it was a shock to me. See, now people live in the Caribbean. Not everybody, but some people. Like when Junior was speaking about, pig toilet and all this sort of stuff. Yeah. You think, wow, didn't know this existed. You know what I mean? But at the same time, it was a learning curve for me. Yeah. I thought, wow, when you think you're living in England and you're in a bad place, come here. Yeah. See if you'll survive, you know what I mean? See if you'll survive in here, you know what I mean? So all that, it makes you stronger inside. Oh. So when you come to England and somebody says, I don't know, you got to get to Meadowhall or something to do your job. I think that's the easy thing, man.
Easy thing, yeah.
Simple thing. That's not hard, but somebody might say, I'm not getting up early and setting off at that time in the morning to go work in Meadowhall. That's something simple, you know what I mean? So it makes you stronger inside. You know, you've seen what hardship can be like.
Yeah, definitely.
It makes you stronger inside. But it's great to see, well, there is quite a few black businesses now.
Now there is,
Now there is. There's quite a few.
When I came here 25 years ago, there weren't many.
I know,
and that was 25 years ago. So I'm just imagining the 70s or the 80s or even the 90s. Yeah. You get what I'm saying?
I know girls who do makeup now, black girls who do makeup.
Yeah, I know quite a few of them as well,
nails. I know a girl who was doing law.
Yeah.
So there is quite a few, but there could always be more black businesses.
Like I know a girl, I know it's not a business, but she's aspiring to be a judge.
Right.
You don't see many of them.
No.
And she started from being a lawyer, and then from studying law, she moved on to doing lawyering in the offices, and now she's doing the training. She wants to become a judge.
Wow.
So again, that's another, leaps and bounds.
Because if she can become a judge, some little young guy, black or
whatever,
You know what? I think I could do that one day.
That's
maybe.
Good. That's good.
I could be a judge.
That's good, man. That's
you got something to look up to, haven't you?
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Why do you think about business matter, Jonah?
So the demographic kind of changed. Like even since me first come to Sheffield. So for me, you need to affect change, you need to have some person that's black in the high positions.
Yeah.
Because there's always gonna be a prejudice if you don't have that.
Yeah.
If you have a boardroom and the only person in the boardroom is just a middle class white male, they're only gonna see things from their perspective.
Yeah.
You need to mix up the boardroom so that you can look at things from different
angles and perspectives, for sure.
You understand?
For sure.
In whatever sector it is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I used to work with young people, and so many times I've been to court with black youths, white youths, Asian youths, and I'm trying to defend them and trying to protect them from getting into the justice system.
Mm-hmm.
And some of these kids, sometimes they've made mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying they're always perfect, but you can work with them but they have to understand, say, you have to see from different perspectives.
True.
Like I remember working with a young lady, and she was from London, black girl. Her mom and dad was Jamaican. Her mom got deported, and she came to us in the children's home, right? So she's 2-1. When we went to the big Asda in Handsworth.
Yeah.
And we bought some things, some yard food, tin mackerel and rare.
Yeah.
Because that's what she wanted. You see me? When we went back to the home and we're doing the paperwork, I noticed my colleague wrote, "We took such and such out and cater for her cultural needs." That's wrong in my eyes.
Yeah.
Because what you should be writing is, we take this young person out to get stuff that she like.
Yeah.
Because if she was from Scotland, you wouldn't be writing.
You wouldn't write that, yeah.
You've catered to her cultural needs.
Yeah.
You go right. We've bought things that she likes or she used to.
Yeah.
So if I wasn't there to challenge that,
it would have gone unnoticed.
It would continue to have the same cycle.
True.
And it's damaging.
Yeah.
Because when that young person gets, say, turn 18 and social services give her access to her paperwork and she see all these things, you tender to my cultural needs. What do you mean? These are just things that what me like.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
True. I like that.
You can't like I am brewer, you can't like ting.
Yeah. The same thing.
It's just things that I like.
Yeah.
And back in the 70s, I remember my brothers, because I'm from a big family.
Yeah.
I'm the youngest of 9. And I remember my older brother saying to me, when my mum and dad came over, the Windrush generation, and my brothers and them went to school, and then they had to find a job after school. My dad was said to them, "Boy, if you're good with your hands, go and get a job in one of the factories." You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And that's all they knew at that time.
Yeah.
And then some of my brothers went, one was a welder, one was an engineer, and they went in these factories and excelled. You know what I mean?
Great stuff.
And then you think to yourself that their children, you hope that their children that are coming through after them, they won't be working in a factory. You hope that they might be getting encouraged to go and open their own business and whatever they enjoy doing.
Yeah.
And that's how it moved on from generation to generation.
Yeah, because that's what I feel like. So my asking myself the same question is like supporting black businesses. I feel like it inspires our children to go outside of the get up and go and work a 9 to 5. Yeah. Like I've got I think I speak about him on every single podcast, but this is because this boy inspired me. Is like he's 19 already and he's already self-employed. Doing his own thing, because from I think it was 14, 15, it was like, Dad, I'm never going to work for nobody. Now, he does work for a firm. Yes. The firm supplies him with the stuff. But he does his own taxes, pays his own national insurance. Excellent. And he's already doing that at 19 years old. So if that's already instilled in him at this age, imagine where he's going to be at 30. 30. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And he's like, within a 3-month span, he's made himself best part of 15 grand.
Excellent.
I never did that at his age.
No.
Never did that at his age. I had a couple of kids. You know what I mean? I was working at a car wash, washing some cars and collecting £30 a day. You know what I mean? But obviously, him seeing me go through that as his dad, and obviously the different jobs I've changed, and he must have heard me, well, he would have heard me talking about these jobs over these, like, you know what? I ain't going to be like my dad, you know? I'm going to aspire to be better than my dad.
So and that's how it should be.
So that's why I feel like, to me, it matters, and I will continue to, you know, to support it. And that's why talking to Junior on the phone the other day, and I'd not been to Rumkeg for a while, and I was saying to him, like, feel like I've deserted my place, you know. But again, that's just because of how busy I am. Trying to put myself and create a black business for myself, but I've not been there. And it's like last Thursday I had to like, you know what, I'm just going to take a break. I'm going to go and sit and chill. So I didn't get to make it for the singing part of it. But we sat afterwards and we had a chat. And for me, that's the best. I don't know about you, but that's the best part of Rumkeg for me, you know. That hour where we sit there and just have a little bit of a vibe and just have a bit of chat. Because I was telling Sean before you come, he was asking where the idea of the podcast come from. And I'm like, well, we used to sit in Rumkeg. And one night I drove out and I was like, well, why don't I create a safe space where they can come and, you know what I mean? That was probably after my 3rd or 4th time of coming. And then I didn't mention it to you until I think it was September or something like that. When I mentioned it to you first. But that's where it all came from. Just sitting down and just having that chat. So when I don't get to go, you know what I mean? I feel like I'm deserting it. But like I said, after speaking to Junior understands, because we've always spoke about not being able to talk. You get what I'm saying? So Junior's always listened. You get me?
Sometimes he just gives me a ring to check in, say, hey, Sean,
and that's what he was doing.
Not seeing you down here. You're all right, everything good.
That's what he was doing. He watched the Kevin and Andrew episode, and he was like, you know, I was going to text you, but I thought, let me ring him. You get me? Ring him, and I think we was on the phone half an hour, 45 minutes after.
45 minutes.
We was on the phone after talking, and then again, that was just our safe space where he was telling me some things, I was telling him some things. So it's great, man, to get us together here and to hear your story because the stuff you told me today that we never spoke about before, you know, in Rumkeg. So it's great to hear, you know, your viewpoints and where you're coming from and what's brought you to this point. And I just want to say to you both to just continue in doing what you're doing, and you're inspiring to me, and you're inspiring to me, and you know, I hope I'm inspiring to your guys, and you know, and that we carry on doing this and building this community and having a table where we can come and say, all right, then Junior, I've got 10 grand, Sean, I've got 10 grand. You know what I mean? What can we build? Can we build a high-rise building? Can we build a couple of flats? You know, something where we can leave a legacy. You know, to carry on after we've gone. So that's great, man. And it kind of lead me to my next topic. My next bullet point is, you know, what does supporting black business mean to you? Like beyond the hashtags of, it's Junior's place and it's Rumkeg on a Thursday. So beyond all of that, what does supporting black business mean to you?
You want to take the first?
You go first.
Support can come in many ways. It's not always monetary.
Yeah, true.
You know, it could be just checking in.
Yeah.
Like, don't look at the other black person business as a competition.
No.
Inspiration
instead.
Yes, man.
Yeah, true.
Look how much Chinese restaurant takeaway you see.
Yeah.
Look how much chicken shop down London.
Yeah.
You understand? So everybody just have to do their own thing, be creative and I think even if you can't physically, because sometimes you don't have the money to go out and support a business. You know what I mean? Support what you like as well.
Yeah.
I know every day you go feel for jerk chicken. I know every day I go feel for fried chicken. Sometimes you want to try something different.
Yeah.
Me no feel no way.
No, definitely not.
If you see my thing and you can like it and share it, that is helpful as well.
Yeah. You don't have to spend no money.
You don't have to spend no money. Me give thanks. And if you don't have no money, come through me make you a coffee.
Yeah, easy. Yeah.
Me have peppermint tea and everything. You see me? All them
like
something with them I sell like Alan and Barrett. Me have them.
Yes, have them.
Yes,
Stack up.
man. Me have them. Stack up, man. My mother give me them before she passed away, you know. Me have meringue and everything. So
everything, yeah.
you don't have to have money. That's why I build the bar. I never build the bar. The idea around the bar, yes, I wanted to always have my own bar. But the idea was never to leave my day job. It was never that.
It's a side job, yeah.
It was a place where I feel relaxed because I do get homesick.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Even after so many years of living in England, I get homesick regularly.
Yeah.
And the only thing I need when I feel homesick is music,
yes,
make a music, food.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? You know, and then with being homesick, I've been to bars in England and them say, you're not dressed, you can't come in.
Yeah.
You're not dressed well enough.
Yeah.
And sometimes I put on my Clarks and all the waistcoat. Come here, I say, you can't tell me nothing this time.
Yeah.
And them I say, you're overdressed.
You're overdressed.
I have been told I've been overdressed.
I've been told that as well. I've been told I've been overdressed. You can't come in. Yeah, I've been told that as well.
Understand?
So I know that.
These things make me wanted to create a space for me, for my sense of fulfillment.
Wow.
And I was doing my full-time job, working as a youth worker for the first 8 months of Rumkeg.
Yeah.
And running Rumkeg as full-time as well.
Yeah.
You understand? So it was, but I had to make a choice because the burnout was coming.
Yes.
So I made a decision to say, you know what, this thing I can't work, man. Let me focus on it now. And that's when I decided to leave my job.
So, it was the same for me leading up to me because I spoke to you about leaving my job. I felt the burnout coming because I was doing 9 hours at my job. And then from the job, I was jumping on the motorway and I'm going to Manchester 2-3 times in the night.
Wow.
Coming home, getting 2 hours sleep, and then going back to work again for 9 hours. So it was the burnout for me was coming. I felt it coming. It was just coming and it was just like a situation happened and I was like, this is just the universe telling me this is it. And ever since I've done that, I'm going harder at what I do, but I'm finding more rest time.
Right.
Because in what I do is I can be on the road just doing, and I'm like, you know what? Let's switch that meter off, man. I'm going to go and have an hour. I'm going to have 2 hours.
You got to know when to rest and when to press.
And yes. yeah, definitely. So I definitely feel where you're coming from when you said about the burnout was coming.
Yeah.
I felt like the burnout. I felt like I was in the burnout. I was in the burnout before I actually, took the plunge to finger. So what's your finger?
I mean, I love supporting black businesses.
Yeah.
I love doing that. I mean, it's like what Junior said about Chinese and Indians. There's loads of Chinese and Indians takeaways. So I don't feel King Kev, me and King Kev are good friends. Me and Wisdom up on City Road are good friends. It's not like you've got business, I've got a business, I shouldn't be talking to you. It's not that with me. You know what I mean? There's enough for everybody.
Of course it is.
Sheffield must have 1 million people.
Of course it is.
You know what I mean? There's enough to share around for everybody. So I go and I support Caribbean places that do food and that. Because I remember when I first started, when you want those people to come through the door and they're not for some reason coming through the door as quick as you would like. So I go and support them and buy something and what's not. And I enjoy doing that. And it's good to see, like, people of your own ethnicity trying to, do something and come up, because as you know, it's been a long struggle for some of us.
Yeah.
Some of us have had a long, long struggle and it's not as easy to go over some of the obstacles as your counterparts, It's more tougher for us.
And I suppose everybody bring a different vibe and a different melody, like with even King Kev himself with the social media thing and the rhyming and that kind of stuff like that. So he brings something different.
Correct.
And you bring something different and you bring something different. So we can all come together and just, like I said, coexist in the same space and all feed our families, and because we're all doing it. We're all feeding our families and doing well, and we're all coming together and we're meeting up and we're doing our thing. You know what I mean? So like being obviously with our culture and different culture, like how do you maintain your culture and authenticity while scaling your business? How do you maintain that?
Well, in my business, it's food, isn't it? So in my business, I maintain it by the authenticity of the food. I do bring, when somebody walks into my place, you got to read your customer, and you've also got to imagine they think, and this is not a negative thing. They think that any Caribbean place has got to be from Jamaica. It can't be from any of the other islands. It's got to be from Jamaica. So I try to educate some people when they come and says, we do rotis.
Yeah.
You do roti, I only get that when I go to an Indian. What do you mean you do roti?
You get roti all over.
You get roti all over, don't you?
You just do it differently.
Yeah, if you lived in the Caribbean, you can get roti.
Yeah.
And then, I've had a customer say to me like, I can't believe you've used some Indian spices and you're supposed to be Caribbean. Don't they know about the Arawaks and the Caribs?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's educating people.
Indians.
And the Indians, the Arawaks, Caribs,
the Indians,
Don't forget the English brought Indians,
Yeah. It weren't just black man. Yeah, it weren't just
the
black man.
indentured laborers.
Yeah.
They came over. They didn't come over for free. They said, you got to pay us to come to the Caribbean.
Yeah.
We went for free because we were captured and this, that, the other. And the Indian guy said, look, you can have these people, but you need to pay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But even that, like they say, the New World. Christopher Columbus discovered the New World. There were people there before, obviously. The Arawaks and all these
Indians.
They were all there living their dream until the West came and did whatever they did to them, and some of them died because they got English diseases and all this other stuff. So all that it blows my mind sometimes because you've got different generations of people who want to eat Caribbean food and want to take on some of the Caribbean traits.
Yeah.
But they don't really know the history
behind it,
of what it's all about, really and truly about.
That is true.
I mean, and I think Junior will know this as well.
Yeah.
Lots of Chinese in the Caribbean.
Of course.
Lots of Chinese.
We've got Germans.
You imagine if I was to put a Chinese dish on my menu.
Yeah.
Well, you're supposed to be Caribbean. What are you doing?
Yeah.
You can have a Chinese dish on the menu. But we know when we're in the Caribbean, every day you see a Chinese guy.
You see a Chinese. We've got a German community.
Outside, and Italian.
Yeah.
Outside of Jamaican food, a Chinese food was my next favorite.
Yes.
In Jamaica. And then me get to try a look at Italian because one of my cousin them used to work for your Italian guest house owner. And my first Italian style dish was bully beef and pasta.
Okay.
So like you'd have your bolognese.
Yeah.
And bully beef.
Yeah. You mix it in.
Yes, man. Well, corned beef.
Yeah.
Just
no bully beef.
Just for
I know what you mean, but
bully beef. What's he talking about? Bully beef.
Corned beef. Yeah. So you work on the question.
Yeah. So it was how do you maintain your culture and authenticity while scaling your business?
For me, it's simple. Keep it simple. Don't overcomplicate things.
Yeah.
Right? I fell in love with bartending, and me have a natural Jamaican flair with it. So you can call it a tourist thing, right? I also was fortunate enough to bring that to the local people of Jamaica before me come to England.
Okay.
I used to run a party named Cocktail and Dreams.
Yeah.
Right? Taxi man, them used to burn me out, in a Trelawney,
Kind of thing named Cocktail.
Why?
Cocktail and Dreams, it sounds a bit too hot.
Yeah. Yes, it is. So I brought that to the local people in a Kerry Park, see? With my bridging name Gucci. Them call him Gucci, Michael. See? So when I brought that to the local people, I'm seeing, I give the tourists them all my energy. I need to give my people them some of my energy as well.
Of course.
So that's what I did. Taxi man them burned me out. So what I had to do, I had to just create my own. I didn't know this was called marketing. But I just think taxi man burned me out. But they're going to be my biggest word of mouth.
Yeah.
News spread fast with taxi.
Yeah.
They're seeing hundreds of
people
customers
every day,
every day. So I changed my strategy and I renamed the event to Frocktail and Dreams.
Okay.
Zin?
Join the taxi man them now.
Yeah. And then we go to Ochi and we find 5 Browning. Because them time the Buju man Buju Bantan sing about Browning.
Yeah.
Every man want Browning at Jamaica.
Yeah.
So we go find 5 of the Chris's Browning them at Ochi.
Bring them in.
And I brought them in, but I had to pay them.
Of course.
So the deal was I give them accommodation to stay over, and I also make them drink for free.
Yeah.
So that was my marketing.
Yes.
And I just put them on the front page, and them get food, drinks, accommodation.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. And then it just sell off. So even when we moved to England, 7 years later, my brethren Gucci was running that event.
Yeah. So your authenticity, you bring that with you in your pocket.
Yeah, we kept it simple.
Kept it simple, yeah, I like that.
At the normal bar, and we have a bar just serving 3 cocktails for the woman them. And the man them have to buy the cocktail because they want impress.
Yes, of course. So them are burn it out, but them still have to buy. Same taxi man them.
Yeah, same taxi man them.
So keeping it simple, bring them in.
Keep it simple.
True.
At Rumkeg, when I first started, when I started to do food there, and I collaborate with Shawnee B at one stage, I feel like I do the most collaboration anyway.
Yeah, of course, definitely.
When it's coming to working with other Caribbean.
Yeah.
So I just kept it simple. We do jerk chicken now, and we do it the best, most authentic way you go have it in England.
Yeah.
So much so not even the council now love it. Cause one time them tell me say me can't cook in my jerk pan outside. So me have to create all these things. You have to have covering. You have to have this. You have to have that.
Fun, extract of fun, all of them.
You have all these things.
Yeah. But that's the authenticity of jerk
authenticity. The one I had an inspector one time, right? Me not call out nobody.
Yeah, of course.
But the man said to me, say, "Oh, I didn't know you're cooking the jerk pan outside." So I said, "Yeah, it's an authentic way of cooking." I know, said the man changing mind from giving me 5-star to 4-star because
of that.
Yeah, but this time I was cooking on the street and I get 5-star in a Sheaf car park. You understand?
Makes sense.
With the same kind of facilities, but his
where's the consistency?
process was like, if you cook in the oven, I'll give you 4 stars. So I said, no. My customers have no business if you give me 4-star.
Yeah.
Because me go cook for my jerk pan.
Said we. Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Man, great.
So keep it simple. Often customers come and they'll say, yo, you don't have no jerk chicken, you don't have no curry goat, you don't have no oxtail. No. We're a bar, we're a room-focused cocktail bar that have some bites. You can grab 2 patty, 2 chicken wing or a piece of chicken.
That's it.
You're lucky another hard bread you get. You don't look when you get rice. You understand?
You give them overs.
them get overs already.
Yeah.
It's a bar when we serve local thing if we soak up somebody alcohol.
Somebody alcohol,
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's your concept, isn't it?
That's my concept.
That's it.
So I keep it simple.
Simple.
And that is very easy to scale.
Simple.
So one of the things that I've worked on over the last year and a half is how do I make this adaptable if I'm not there? Say if me get sick or something.
Yeah.
Down to my dumpling recipe, you know. Me can train up anybody if you go make that, you know.
Yeah.
You understand?
By keeping it simple.
Spec down. I know that back in the day thing where you season till the ancestors them say stop. No.
Yeah.
And this is how you scale it up by making it transferable.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's why you got to have measurements and stuff, and
Yes.
But when Caribbean people cooking, you just say use your eye then.
Yeah, you just use your eye, just chew until your mindset, right? You know?
Yes, but we have to remember, not because you're from the ghetto mean you're still need to live in the ghetto.
No, true.
You understand?
Yeah, you have to grow.
Yes,
You have to grow.
And the only way by growing and being able to scale is I used to work for Whitbread, premiering in the kitchen, right? And everything, even just serving, what do you call it? Pate.
Yeah.
So you just have to serve it with a piece of toast and some salad.
Yeah.
Them have a spec sheet for that.
Yeah. Because they want the consistency.
Yes. So me learn how to cook from my grandma and my uncle, Bigger.
Yeah.
Them call him Bigger. So me learn how to cook from them, and then me adapt my own style. And then now when me start work with like the corporate brand, them like Whitbread, and me see them have spec sheet for you pour a glass of water.
Yeah.
I says, but them have several hotels, several restaurants. Don't forget, Whitbread cover Premier Inn, Table, Beef Eater. These are other brands within that brand.
Yeah.
Under one umbrella.
Why can't a black business do that?
Do the same thing.
And that's what I aspire to do. And
like
show them, say, we can do it.
Yeah.
I can do it.
Yeah.
And I'm going to do it.
Yeah. Thinking outside the box, innit?
Yeah.
I like that. I like that concept that you've got there.
Yeah,
so that lead me to my last and final bullet point, yeah? If you could speak to a younger self, what advice would you give? I'll start with you, Sean.
First of all, you got to believe in yourself.
Yes.
For
real.
You got to believe in yourself. And to be fair, the guys who I knocked about with, they told me way before I actually acted and did it and believed in myself. People saying, you can do this, Sean. You don't understand the knowledge you've got with this type of stuff, hospitality and food. You can do this. And I didn't have the confidence at the beginning.
Yeah.
I can walk in there.
Fear, that fear to make that step.
To make the step.
Yeah.
So I would say to somebody, you got to believe in yourself. And I would try. I'm not saying you can't do different things, but I would try and do something that you already know. So like for me, in my case, I'd already worked in hospitality and catering and food.
So you know it.
So I know it. So I didn't go and open, I don't know, an hairdressers or removal company or something like that. Because I would have had to learn a lot more on the job. I still had to learn, although I knew catering. But
you had a starting point.
Yeah, I've got an advantage because it's something that I already know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I know about service scripts. I know about how you serve a drink, how you serve coffee and all that.
Yeah.
So you've got to believe in yourself. And I would say, try and stick to something that you're already in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Stick to something that you're already in, what you're confident about.
Right.
And then try. Because whatever you do, you're going to make mistakes on the journey.
Yeah.
However you look at it, whether you've been doing it for 10 years, you're going to make mistakes on the journey.
Yeah.
It's how you get over those mistakes.
That's it.
Remember one guy says, every day you're going to have a new challenge, but it gets to a point where it's just like a fly and you just dust it off. Just fob it off. Yeah, you can bring another challenge to me today. Yeah, just fob there. I know what they want there. I can do that. And it builds you up, builds your confidence up. But believe in yourself and you can do it.
True. Jonah?
What would I tell my younger self?
Yeah.
Don't be too stubborn.
Okay.
I feel like it took me 40 years to realize this. Don't be too stubborn. Live more, worry less. And be open to change. When it's time to change, you have to change. Adapt to these changes. Yeah.
So what I would tell my younger self is kind of a similar thing to you. Don't wait too long.
Yeah.
Don't procrastinate. Because time, we can never get it back.
You never get it back.
We can never get time back. So move while that fire is in your belly.
Yes.
Move towards where you're going. Because sometimes when you wait too long, that fire dies down.
But in your mind, you think you can wait.
Yeah.
In your mind, you think
you think you've got all the time in the world.
All the time in the world.
Yeah, when realistically you haven't.
You haven't.
And realistically, when you initially get that feeling and that drive, that was the moment that the universe was ready to carry you on your wave.
Yeah.
But because you waited to move, the wave got above you.
Yeah.
So you find yourself doing this. And if you don't give up, eventually, you probably get there.
Yeah, get there, yeah.
But it's just going to take you a bit of a longer time.
It's a bit of a rough ride, yeah. It's a bit
of a rough ride, rougher time. So the advice that I would give my younger self is move, don't wait. Yeah. Do it now. And it's the same with me, like I got to 40 and it's the same. So that's the end of the podcast today, guys. I want to thank you guys for coming out and, giving me the support and time out of your busy days and stuff like that. And I just want to let you know that I'm proud. Because we don't spend enough time telling each other how proud we are. So I'm proud of you, Junior, and I'm proud of you, Sean. And just carry on being the authentic people that you are, and keep driving and being the driving force of the community. Keep going, keep pushing, and I'll keep supporting you guys. Okay?
Okay.
Yep.
Well, thank you for having us on.
No problem.
Thank you very much.
No problem.
Thank you, man. Likewise, you know.
I appreciate that.
you.
So that's been another episode of the King Space Podcast. Until next time, people, peace out.
How did we do?